I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am Levi.
And I'm Shane.
Yeah, I tried to give you an upbeat to lead you in.
I know, I was...
Yeah.
But we really got to talk about this before we start recording.
I don't think we do. I think it's perfect the way it's never the same every time. I think that's our brand identity, and to stray from that, I think would confuse people.
Just
honestly.
two regular dudes covering stuff they have no clue about.
Two regular guys talking nonsense. I mean, that's 98% of podcasts in general anyway.
It is fair, yeah.
We're just doing what works, people.
Everyone's opinion matters, and I agree. They all do.
Yeah. I mean, you show me one invalid opinion, and I'll show you fascism. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know whose opinions really matter? These people. We went Adam Pacino, Mark Stadler, Kylie Gangwish, Colby Jordan, Colton Zamerzla, and Chantel.
Yeah. Dang. Those are some cool people. If somebody else wanted to be like them, what could they do, you think?
Ooh, they could head on over to our link tree, and then they get the Patreon links there. They got the YouTube links. They got all the links.
All the links. Yeah.
And if you become a subscriber, I'll say your name. And if you become a subscriber and you pay us a lot of money, I'll record a second episode just for you, okay? That only the Patreon people can get. But you got to become a Patreon first.
Yeah. Yeah. So take that. Yeah. And if you some of the cool things you can do through the links other than, become a Patreon subscriber, you can go to our merch store. You can check out all the cool designs we have in there. And then you can, I don't know, if you want to comment on the episode as it comes out, that would be cool. Because one fun thing that we do that not a lot of people are doing, we're reading the comments. A lot of people say don't read the comments, we read them. Because, well, it's engagement. It's fun.
I like it, yeah.
And this week we have two people battling it out for top commenter, apparently. You don't even have to guess who one of them is. So, Kylie is back with a vengeance, and she likes the lava lamp, so that's good. I don't really like how it looks on the video. I think it's a little like it's too bright,
I love lamp.
I love lamp. Do you love lamp, or are you just saying random things that you love?
I love lamp. It's from a movie. I think it's
yeah, I know. I finished the quote. It's from Anchorman.
That's what I thought. I was making sure.
Yeah. Speaking of random references, Kylie really liked my throwaway Ron White reference. She's because when you were calling me out for stealing from the government and embezzling podcast funds, I said you caught the tater, and that's. That's a really old Ron White joke, and honestly, I didn't expect anybody to pick it up, but I'm glad that she did.
Yeah.
So, Ron White, man, we used to watch those blue collar comedy tour guys all the time. Like, they had all the DVDs, and we would all watch them. My family members all loved them so much, and I always liked Ron White the most because I felt like he was just kind of like that weird, but funny uncle that everybody has, where he's always hammered, because that's Ron White,
Mm-hmm.
Although apparently he stopped drinking, so good for him. Kylie continues. I will not lose top commenter. She made sure that was the case this week. She doesn't have a sister, so she can't kiss her sister. So
that's unfortunate.
Back to cousins, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next best thing.
Yep. And then she has a comment about the teachers keep getting fired for random stuff. She said, "What is wrong with administrations? With teacher shortages, you're willing to fire a well-respected and fun teacher for being Checks notes. A Twitch streamer? Got it. I'm pretty sure. I'm 98% sure that's how she meant for that to be read. And then she said that it's awful that doxing happens to people and horrible that people think that it's a good idea. I don't think that they think it's a good idea. I think that they just don't care that it's a bad idea, which I think is a key difference.
Yeah.
Because there's shitty people who just don't care that something's bad and will do it anyway. But then there's people who are just like, yeah, no, I'm just not going to do that because it's not a good idea. So, yeah, anyway. And then we were talking about Modern or Call of Duty specifically. I don't remember which one, but she said those maps have a vice grip on my nostalgia. But I agree, campaign once and never revisited again. Running out of names for things. And then she made a laughing emoji. So I'm assuming that's for Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then she said, Pokemon has the same polarizing effect every generation. There's a massive fight between I'll pay for it and play it anyway because it's Pokemon, and this is the worst generation ever. It could not get any worse. I don't know. I've never really been into Pokemon that like hardcore.
Dude.
I played the video games, and that was like, and just the Game Boy ones. I never strayed farther from that. Like,
I played.
That was my pocket.
I played yellow, blue, and red, and then I played gold and silver, and then I played crystal.
Yeah.
And I think
Ruby was the most recent one that I.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I haven't played anything past crystal.
Yeah, Ruby was cool because it had that like see-through plastic cartridge, and I had a Game Boy Advance, and I was like, I had a red one, and so it was all, it just all blended together real nice, and I said, "This is what it's like to live," She also had a question. Shane, is your eye okay? It looks so red and sad. Sad face.
Oh, I might have been slightly hungover.
It's not you. We don't condone drinking heavily on this show.
Yeah, don't go back and watch our original stuff when it was Westbine. Don't go do that.
Definitely don't go to the Facebook and watch all the old videos because you can watch them all there.
That episode where you're just fucking hammered.
Screaming. Oh man, I wish I remembered what I was even drinking that night because I felt like I went off the deep end quick.
It wasn't beer. But it was something in a can because you chugged one right before we started recording, and then you drank another one while we were recording. And
it wasn't a Four Loko, was it?
It may have been Four Locos.
Well, that explains it all. I'd have to go back and watch, but holy shit, yeah, that was wild. Yeah, I just remember you trying to mute me and me laughing because I had the audio for the Facebook.
Yeah.
So anybody watching live could hear me perfectly well. They could only hear me because I'm screaming. And then you're like, nobody's going to hear this. And I'm like, you're fucking wrong. So anyway, if you're curious as to why I don't drink alcohol anymore, you could go watch those videos. And Kylie also says that she's happy that, what's his name? The crazy guy, Alex Jones, has to pay even with bankruptcy. So we talked about that.
Yeah.
And then she says, for that Am I the Asshole? That the poster is not the asshole. And then she said, what the hell is going on in that bride's head? Petty who? That's not petty. That's and giving into her will only will embolden her entitlement, which I agree.
Yeah.
And then she continued on a different timestamp. She said, Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch. And then we have good old R Whales back in the pocket, dude. Says, what do you mean, you people? At 306, which, I mean, I'm assuming we had a Tropic Thunder reference, but I can't remember now.
Yeah, I don't either.
And then shortly after, hashtag justice for Shane. For which I remember going back and looking, but I don't remember what it was for.
I think
now.
it's because
of your bare background.
Yeah, because you're stealing money from the show.
Because I have all this cool stuff,
Yeah.
and you're in a hostel in Bulgaria recording. And then and then Art Whale says, "Good on Levi for trying to ignore Shade's joke when it was the L's, like my life or something like that."
Yeah.
And then read the synopsis, depending on your understanding of the space-time continuum.
Yep.
So anyway, that's the comments. Are you ready for some juicy stuff?
Let's go, dude.
First off, congratulations to Ohio for voter approval on constitutional amendments that ensured access to abortion and other forms of reproductive health care.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they literally put it in the state's constitution, which is kind of badass. Like, that's pretty cool. You know, that was the whole thing of they're like, we're overturning Roe v. Wade so the states could deal with it. And now, you know, states are dealing with it. This is one of them. Ohio also legalized marijuana.
Holy cow.
So, yeah, pretty cool. They're going to need it to deal with all the fallout from all those chemicals that got dumped in the water. But, from those train wrecks. But, you know, it's fine. Pretty cool. Next up, big news. Jason Kelce is a finalist for Sexiest Man Alive.
Which means
so
I have a chance.
Our time is now,
Dude.
Baby. Chunky bearded boys, let's go.
No, I don't have a beard. Damn.
Damn. Sorry. Maybe next year. I think that's pretty awesome. I can't remember which game I watched last week where he was on. Maybe the Thursday night game.
It was the Thursday night game.
Yeah. He was on, and I was like, dude, I never realized how hilarious Jason Kelce is. Like, just a total dude, like just a bro and a half.
Apparently, he has a pretty popular podcast. Don't go listen to it. Only listen to ours.
Only listen to ours. Live in our echo chamber. Yeah, because him and his brother, who nobody's ever heard of before,
Yep.
they do it together, right? So I've never listened to it, and it's weird because I like, as much as I love football, I don't listen to any football podcasts. Is that weird?
Nah, it's okay.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to double
You're
check.
just like everyone else. You get all your news about football from ESPN, all right?
Yeah, or Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the way God intended it. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. He was cracking me up because they were talking about a clip from the game they had the previous weekend, and he's just like, it looks like he's just screaming in the face of this dude, and then it turns out he's just laughing maniacally, and then he just did it. He just did what he was doing, like on the round table or whatever.
Yeah.
And all these people are like, "Oh shit, this guy's crazy." And then all by himself, Richard Sherman on the very end is just dying. It's like, okay, well, at least he appreciates it, because that's what I was doing. I was laughing my ass off. Who do you think could contend against him? Well, we have, you know, I don't know if these are, well, fuck, I don't know. Now, the way the article is written, I don't like it now. But some other A-list finalists include the likes of Timothy Chalamet, Jamie Foxx, and Usher. But I feel like Usher's already been in there. So is this old finalists, or is this other ones? God, stupid article.
I mean,
Sports Illustrated, you failed.
Timothy Chalamet is pretty.
He's a pretty boy.
He's pretty. I don't.
I was I've been rewatching like SNL from when I like stopped watching. I stopped watching around 2021. Like I don't know. Couldn't do it. It's just, like, just tired of hearing about COVID, I think. And so now I've been like rewatching that season and like forward.
Yeah.
And they did a weekend update when they're talking about the picture that got released about him being Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
And the uproar that people were like, "You got a twink at Willy Wonka now? Okay." Like, people were mad. They were like, "Oh man, he's too tiny and petite to play Willy Wonka." I'm like, what does that even mean?
What?
Bro? Yeah, that was like a thing that was happening apparently. I wasn't aware of it, but they brought it up on Weekend Update.
Did none of them watch whenever Johnny Depp was fucking Willy Wonka? He was like tiny.
Yeah.
He was tiny and weird looking.
He's very weird looking. Yeah, creeped me out.
Yeah. He's got like a bowl cut and fucking, yeah, he looks wild.
Like the pastiest skin you
Yeah.
can have. Also, pretty unhinged. I don't know. I liked his version because I was, a kid when it came out, or not like a super young kid, but like it was being played at our house enough because my little brother had the DVD, and so I just was like, yeah, so it's Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow, whatever, but nobody, Gene Wilder, nobody's gonna take.
I was gonna
the cake
say
from
no.
him.
Yeah, Gene Wilder is phenomenal in the original, dude. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, and just like how careful they were to create it to be like an actually like, I don't know, it's not just a kids movie, I don't think.
No.
Like, that movie is just a movie that can kind of appeal to everybody, but like the fact that like none of the people knew on the boat scene what was happening except for Gene Wilder to add to like the enhancement of people being scared, or like,
Dude,
where he like did the limping trick, like the goof at the beginning, where he like limps out and then stumbles and then jumps up. Like, just these little things that are like, back when there seemed to be a lot more free reign on how things would go.
yeah.
Because now you can't really do a whole lot of that because a lot of it's going to be like digitally reworked or whatever. Back then they're just like, all right, we're rolling, and they didn't have crank ones, but I like to imagine they did. But
Yeah, dude.
this guy's just like,
And that boat scene has no business being in that movie. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, if you watch the rest of the movie and they cut that part out, you wouldn't know you missed anything. But the fact that they just in the middle of the movie put the most unsettling fucking
just
it's,
unnerving,
dude,
creepy, like, yeah.
it doesn't make
Fantastic,
Yeah,
though.
it's amazing. It's phenomenal, dude. Gene Wilder, fucking phenomenal, dude.
Yeah. He's so good. Like,
Yeah.
that between that and Young Frankenstein,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I just don't understand. He was in one of the Bonnie and Clyde movies randomly.
Wasn't he also in
in
Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, he was the quick shot guy, where the fucking scene where he tries to take the chess piece and he's already got it. Like, what the fuck? His hands didn't even move. People of the land, morons. So we got a major death in popular culture here.
Major.
Yeah, Omegle shuts down after 14 years.
Bro.
Yeah. How? I saw a meme that was like, now how are people supposed to look at middle-aged dudes' dicks randomly?
That's a great question.
It's so, like, I didn't even know it was, first of all, still a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it was still a thing, because, like,
It got real bad. Like, the last time I remember using it was like A school, and it was just like with a bunch of buddies in the fucking barracks, and you're all crowded around the camera, and and most of it was dicks back then.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like, I think the last time I used it was probably in the barracks. I can't remember which one specifically, but definitely in either A or C school. And I don't know, if like the chances of actually having like an active good conversation or like a fun interaction with somebody is so slim, I feel like. And then you see like people who make videos about like those interactions, like the cool ones, and you're like, how the fuck are you?
Oh,
how is this happening?
There's that one
What's
guy. There's a guy who you can never see his face, and I've seen some of his YouTube videos. He plays guitar.
The guitar guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy's sick.
And dude, that's gonna just destroy his content. Because is there even anything similar to that out anymore?
I don't think so.
Dude, that's gotta suck for him.
Yeah.
The dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that and then I know, well, it was like that Steve Cardinal guy with the like karaoke, like he would just like jump in and like it would be like he'd sing like Wrecking Ball to like random, like people would jump in the thing, and then it'd just be him doing a rendition of Wrecking Ball like on the fucking on the Wrecking Ball and everything. Yeah.
Have you seen those videos where it's Kermit on Omegle?
No.
Dude. So some dude has a Kermit puppet, and he sits there and waits until somebody. Like,
oh wait, does he like start roasting people?
He'll start talking shit, but then he'll raise a cucumber up. That's supposed to be his dick. It's hilarious. He does it every time, and it's always these random girls.
I've seen the ones where I've seen like one or two maybe on like I don't know, compilation videos where he's just like talking mad shit to like a couple like group of girls or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've never. Maybe I blocked it out. I don't know. I don't remember the cucumber.
Dude, yeah,
that's hilarious.
Everyone that I've seen, he'll be talking about how like he'll ask him a question or something, and then he just slowly raises. It's a cucumber that's supposed to be his dick into the camera frame.
Yeah. That's amazing. Is it pronounced Omegle or Omegle? I never actually said that word out loud.
I've never either. I think I just read it in my head all the time.
Yeah. Who knows? Let us know in the comments. So this apparently here's the weird thing is it says the app saw a huge surge in popularity during the pandemic.
No, go figure.
Which makes sense. But like I remember using that in high school too. Like we'd all be like stony baloney at like somebody said whoever had a lap or like a webcam.
Yeah. And
we'd get on there trying to find chicks, man. Never found any chicks. Maybe it was the time of day we were doing. I don't know. But in the last couple years, according to this article, it has been mentioned in more than 50 cases against pedophiles. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. It was created in 2009 as a text-based service, and then it was changed into video chat. But pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't like. I don't know. It's kind of weird because like, it makes sense to shut it down, obviously, but like, do you go after the guy who made it? Because I don't feel like that's his fault.
No.
You know, like, I don't know. Maybe if your terms and conditions are top notch, you'll be all right. And it doesn't say in the thing if they're like going after him specifically or not. But yeah,
I just don't know how that thing made money. You know what I mean? Because there wasn't like a membership.
Yeah.
You just got on there. It was just there.
Yeah, and this like, it had to have mad servers too. Like,
yeah,
they keep everything running. I don't know. That's a good question.
You definitely couldn't come after the guy because he wasn't like charging for a membership and then letting it happen through memberships. You know what I mean? It's just a free site you could use.
Man, I just scrolled down. I realized there's more to this article. Got dark. So the company is being sued by an American woman who alleges she was matched with a pedophile when she was 11, coerced into being his online sex slave for 3 years. Wow. Rough.
Where the fuck were your parents?
Yeah, that's not a good look. I don't know, and it could be one of those things where they just weren't paying attention. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like it was something that was happening like potentially constantly. Maybe just like
how are you
making? You know, I don't know.
How are you someone's sex slave?
Online. So like probably, I don't know, like being forced to send content.
Yeah, but how are you being forced? That's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. Like, if it was an adult and she was, and he tricked her somehow, but it just seems real.
Well, it says coerce, so I'm assuming he was just smooth talking enough to convince an 11-year-old.
It makes my stomach hurt. Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross for sure. So I'm assuming forced is probably like forced is the actual word, right? Because she's a child, but he convinced her that it was okay, you know, essentially.
And for 3 years, that's wild.
Yeah. So, not great. Makes sense that it's got, you know, got shut down. I mean, at the very least, just because all the old dude dicks that are floating around on there. I mean, now that there's clearing up the servers, there's got to be tons of room for stuff, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway. So, I don't know. What do you want? You want a funny headline story, or do you want like a normal story?
I want funny, dude. You just brought me way down with pedophilia.
Yeah. All right, let's bring it up. Over 1 in 4 Americans will be Latino by 2060.
Wait, what?
That's what this headline reads.
Nice.
Obviously, I know that it's saying like there's just gonna be more like immigration and like reproduction that's gonna lead to that, but like it makes it sound like they're gonna be like 1 in 4 of you bitches are gonna be Latino now.
That's what I was saying. Like when you said that, I instantly was like, dude, am I gonna be like force converted to Latino, like a religion?
Yeah. I was like, I read that headline and I said I have to talk about it. It might not even be that exciting of a like article because like it literally is just talking about immigration and reproduction. It makes it sound like you bitches are all gonna be Latino now. So start practicing the different languages because you're gonna need it.
Question. On this same vein, so say somehow Mexico invades and takes over America. And then that becomes an extension of Mexico. Does that make us Latino?
No.
I think so.
Because you're just a person from Mexico. You're just Mexican.
And Mexicans are Latino.
Not necessarily.
Oh man, this is some murky water.
There's some Asian Mexicans out there. There's there's Asian people that live in Mexico City. There's,
Dude, I want to move to
There's a whole bunch of different type of people there.
Dude, I want to move to Mexico now so that I want to live there for a couple years. All right, after I get out, I'll go live to Mexico, live there for a couple years, get my citizenship, and then move back to America and then claim that I'm Mexican.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go good.
It won't go great at all.
No, because they'll be like, where's your country of origin? Oh, you're from the United States originally. Okay.
But my citizenship is Mexico, so that makes me Mexican.
Yeah, but your original citizenship will be...
No one tracks original membership, all right?
They're just going to forget about me. I think there's a lot of people who have tried to get away with tax fraud that have tried to do what you're doing, and I don't think it works very well.
I think it'll work because I'm not trying to get away with tax fraud.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's no reason for them to come out.
Exactly. They'll just let me have it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, I got another fun headline.
Okay, all right.
This one's ironic. Fights erupt outside the Museum of Tolerance. Which, the Museum of Tolerance...
Doesn't sound too tolerant.
That's what I'm saying. Apparently they had a film on the Hamas, which is, one of the combatants in the Israel-Palestine conflict going on, right?
Yeah.
But people obviously didn't like it, and just the fact that a fight broke out, and I know when this happened, every journalist or reporter was like, "This is gonna be the perfect headline." Fight breaks out at Museum of Tolerance. Just it writes itself.
It does.
So, yeah, there's just a lot of tension around this topic right now. There's a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people's profile pictures change so much in the last month. It'll go from being the Israeli flag or something, then it'll be a child because they're a parent, and then it'll go back to Israel. I have one friend who started as Israel a month ago, and now they're Palestine, and I don't understand what's happened there.
Yeah. I seen this picture, and it was of somebody from Israel with a gun because it had the flag superimposed over the person, and they're pointing a gun at someone with a hijab on. Am I saying that right? Hijab.
Hijab.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then there was a reflection, and it was clearly a Nazi holding a gun, pointing it at someone that was Jewish because it had the.
Yeah.
And then the caption was, "When you live long enough to become what you hated," or something similar to that.
Ooh, yeah.
And I was like, "Gosh, dang, man!
Yeah.
I must just be so oblivious because I have no clue what's going on."
So, a couple things. Number one, about the oblivious comment. I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were telling me a story about a girl that we both know who is now in National Guard boot camp.
Okay.
Or was in National Guard boot camp. And she had not apparently ever looked at the news before this. But now that she's in boot camp, she's getting all of it. They're talking about all the things happening, especially conflict related. And this girl was apparently like, yeah, I guess it's just like really bad over there. I had no idea. Like, yeah, man, and you joined the National Guard, so get ready. No, it was just kind of funny. Like, I don't know. It was kind of a wild decision to join the military.
I guess it's just really bad over there.
Yeah. So that was pretty fun. And number 2, yeah, it's, I don't know, and it's such a murky situation because, like, I don't know, you can't condemn Israel because if you do that, you're somehow anti-Semitic, but at the same time, they're doing a lot of fucked up shit. And the Hamas are also doing a lot of fucked up shit, but the Hamas don't represent all of Palestine the same way the Israel combatants don't represent all of Israel. So if you're going to do one thing, you got to do the other, but people don't like to look at things that way.
Yeah.
And I've seen people go, well, the Hamas have been voted in. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sure those were super legit votes too, huh? Like, like, okay.
Voted into what?
Like, the Taliban gets voted in, like, to power over the Palestinian controlled areas.
Oh, okay.
Let's say, okay, what does that fucking mean? Like, were you there? Do you know that their voting operations are super?
There's no such
tight,
thing
like,
as voting tampering, okay? None.
Yeah, it doesn't ever happen.
It never happens.
Yeah. All votes have maybe, I don't know, maybe like class president. I feel like it's hard to do that. Mainly because kids are too dumb to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Too afraid.
Yeah. They're like, yeah. But, so, that's, I don't know. We'll see. That's, I don't know. I don't have anything else on that, so. I don't want to say anything more because that's people get mad. We're gonna end up with dislikes again. Last quick story.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. The Secret Service agents guarding President Biden's granddaughter opened fire when 3 people tried to break into an SUV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They tried to break into an unmarked Secret Service vehicle in Washington while these service agents protecting Joe Biden's granddaughter were observing, I guess, in a different vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were trying to break into that vehicle, but, you know, Secret Service doesn't always just go with one. There's like a herd of them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they tried to breaking out the window of this unoccupied SUV. And then the Secret Service agents that were assigned to protect Naomi, I don't know, Naomi, opened fire, but nobody was hit. So, kind of feel like those guys probably need to go back, get recalled. But, yeah, so this is kind of a random thing. I don't even know if it was related, but it's kind of interesting. Like the odds of like a random carjacking happening to a Secret Service vehicle.
Yeah.
Feel like those are pretty slim. But I don't know.
But people are stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you said, people of the land, morons.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
all right.
I didn't know that your granddaughter, if you were the president, that your granddaughter got Secret Service agents.
Yeah, I don't know how far it goes either. Because, like, what if you're like a Catholic family? Like,
and it's massive. If that's the case,
we gotta hire 400 new Secret Service.
That's what I'm
agents.
saying. If that's the case, how much bigger does the Secret Service get every year? Because, like, once you're a president, you always have Secret Service forever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then, so like, once you're not president anymore, how far down the line does like his granddaughter continue to have Secret Service agents for the rest of her life? And if that's the case, then you got to think they're hiring 20 new Secret Service members every year at least.
Yeah. And do you keep does the current president keep like the veterans, or do they get the newer guys, the fresher guys? You know?
I would say the hot job has got to be with the president, like the sitting president. You're not just going to stick some newbie to sit with the president. It's got to be some guy who's seasoned. saw some things.
Well, that's true, but then
Caught some
they had
bullets.
that one lady who was guarding the front door of the White House that one time, and then somebody broke in. Or just ran in, I guess. Remember?
Well, I think that was more like you just don't expect it to happen. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true.
Like
Yeah.
no one expects you to deal drugs in broad daylight
Yeah.
because they're like, oh, it's stupid.
In a police station.
In
Yeah.
a police station.
They have the best drugs there. I don't know.
This actually does make the best sense.
Yeah, so pretty well. I don't know. That would be interesting. I wonder what like that's why we're in debt, dude. We're fucking hiring goddamn Secret Service agents so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how look. That's the title of this episode is Secret Service exposed, just to really draw in the clicks.
People are gonna be like, "Oh shit, they got something good." No, it's actually one throwaway comment about it. But you're welcome. That's how we win, baby.
Yeah, clickbait like clickbait for the win.
Fuck yeah. We got like put on the thumbnail just like big red letters like exposed, and then like
And me and you doing
all
this.
of the, and then like Biden with his ice cream and his finger gun picture, and then Trump doing something.
I love it. See, we're figuring things out here. All right, let's get into this. All right. Am I the asshole for saying I will call social services if my sister-in-law keeps leaving her child at my place? I, 30 female, have a half-brother, Enzo, 40 male. We're not very close since we're both raised with our respective mothers, but he has always gone out of his way to help me with anything I've needed. So then you are kind of close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enzo married
Okay.
his wife, Steph, 33 female, 2 years ago. Steph has a daughter, Alice, 4, with her ex, but has sole custody. And Enzo and Steph have a 7-month-old son, Teddy. I also have a 3-year-old daughter. Enzo and Steph moved to the city I live in when Steph got pregnant, and since then, Steph developed a habit of showing up at my apartment building unannounced. It became a problem, and I talked to both her and Enzo about it, and she stopped until she gave birth. Now, she regularly drops by unannounced to leave Alice at the building for babysitting while she has to run errands or something. She's had her carpool drop Alice off at my apartment before. My poor housekeeper is a wonderful woman who has to deal with Alice arriving unexpectedly while I'm out, and I feel terrible about it. I've told the concierge not to let her up and to say no one is in, but I'll arrive to Alice waiting in the lobby, which is not safe, and the concierge has told me I can't make them respond for a child. Hold up, like this bitch is
How fucking loaded is
this chick
lady?
is so rich.
Yeah.
Steph keeps saying she only does it when she's desperate, but I don't see how she can be that desperate to run errands at least twice a week, and frankly, I'm not a nanny. And if she's desperate, she needs to hire some help. It sounds kind of tone deaf because you're super rich.
Yeah.
I've spoken to Enzo, and he is always extremely apologetic and says he will talk to her, and I believe he does, but he's also working during the day and can't police where she is at all times. I reached my breaking point a couple days ago when I returned from lunch to find Alice at home, having been dropped off since she had a half day at school. I apologized profusely to the housekeeper, who had spent time playing babysitter, and called Steph. No answer. I called her several times, and then Enzo, who was on a business trip and distraught over the situation. Steph eventually turned up a couple of hours later, and I went ballistic. I said, if she ever leaves Alice out of my building again, I will call social services, and I will call them every single time she drops Alice off with me until they do something. Because it's not my job, and she is an irresponsible and neglectful parent. She burst into tears and begged me to help out with Alice, but I said no and reminded her that I'd never said yes in the first place. She just kept dumping her kid here. Steph kept trying to guilt trip me, but I was too exhausted and upset about the situation to be receptive, and eventually my husband had to tell her to leave. I feel bad because I said no, or because I said Enzo has never been anything but the most accommodating person when I'm concerned, and maybe treating his wife like this was harsh, but at the same time I chose to have one kid because I don't want another one. Steph can't use my house as a daycare. Was I too harsh?
God, this one's there's kind of a lot of layers to this guy.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Well, first of all, the half sister-in-law, I don't like that she's just leaving her kid without even asking. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That feels really like, and without ever like prior like arrangements, they like never really talked about it. She's just like, go to your rich aunt's house, whatever.
And it
hang out with Jeffrey and this Sweet Life in Zack and Cody.
it almost feels like she doesn't really like her daughter. Like,
Yeah,
her
also,
daughter reminds her of her old life with her old ex, and now she has a new kid with her new husband, and like it's just like, go over here and play while I do things. I don't need to worry about you.
Absolutely. Now, I will say that you are spot on. This lady does have some tone deaf qualities going on. She's, just hire a fucking nanny. Like, I mean, she knows is it Steph that's the sister-in-law?
Yeah, Steph, yeah.
Steph has, what she knows that whatever Steph's socioeconomics.
I mean, they're
position
probably well off too, because she says that her brother Enzo was off on a business trip.
Yeah.
Regular people at regular jobs don't go off on business trips.
Yeah, that's only a thing that happens to rich people in movies and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she should call CPS on her then at least one time, just so she can get the thing through her head. Like, listen, you can't just leave your kid anywhere, and it's not like the kid's gonna get taken away and thrown away and sent to a gulag or something. Like, it's like, they'll go, hey man, do you have issues taking care of your kid? Do you need a daycare? Like, they'll work, like, they are going to work with, especially if they're well-to-do. It's probably going to be solved pretty quickly. But I don't think that she's a total asshole. She's got some asshole tendencies, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in this scenario, I don't think she's an asshole. Like we both agreed,
No.
she's pretty tone deaf, but it is super shitty to leave your kid without asking 100%, and to keep doing it after you've been told, I don't know, it's weird because, like, you know what I mean, like, she did it at first and then she stopped, and then she just started doing it out of nowhere just because she could, because she knew she would
get away with it, or like,
right, yeah.
it would not be an issue. Yeah, and then you start I don't know, just like counting on that being the norm then.
Well, what's crazy to me is, like, once the people in the lobby were like, yo, you can't go upstairs, she was like, okay, it's fine, I'll just leave her down here.
Yeah, she's just gonna hang out in the lobby with fucking that Reginald dude or whatever his name is.
The fucking doorman, dude. Reginald the doorman.
Concierge. Yeah. I've never even seen a real life concierge, so these people are living differently than me. I know that.
Oh yeah, way different. Way better. Way better lives.
Does it say where they live?
It does not ever mention anything about where they live.
I'm just curious, just out of sheer curiosity. Well, I wonder what some of the people in the comments think, like, because I know Reddit's like got a full gamut of people from very different backgrounds, but a large majority, I think, are people middle class and then lower, and so I'm wondering if anybody else would picked up on that stuff too, because it is like, whoa, okay, oh, just hire a nanny. What are you doing? My carpool service dropped my child off, and I wasn't there. Oh.
Yeah, all the comments agree with us.
Really?
Yeah, everyone's like, not the asshole. Call child services. Not the asshole. She's being careless, and her daughter is going to end up getting hurt by her mother's actions.
Is there like a total number of times that she's did it either?
No, it doesn't say.
It'd be really funny if it was like 3.
Well, it seems like it's happened a lot. You know what I mean? Because it was bad before, whenever she was just pregnant, and then now that she's had the baby, and now that she had Teddy, it's even worse.
Fucking Teddy, dude. It does seem like she's just trying to get rid of that kid.
It does. It's upsetting.
Is that kid possessed? Have we looked into it?
Ooh. We have not looked into that. That's a valid point. Maybe she is the asshole. Maybe the kid is possessed.
Maybe
Steph doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, she's like, I gotta get rid of this demon child. Ugh, take it.
I don't know. It honestly, like I said before, it just seems like that the little girl reminds her of her past life, and she doesn't want to be reminded of it, and she just wants to have her son and go do whatever with her new life.
New baby boy and her new husband. Yeah. Rough. I bet that little girl's gonna have some problems.
Lots of drug problems.
Or, well, yeah, just in general.
Well, she's gonna be rich, you know, because her parents are gonna have money, but her mom's gonna keep shoving her off.
Yeah.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Just send her to boarding school already. You know? Is that a thing? Are boarding schools still
I think
real?
boarding schools are still a thing for the rich, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not going to one, but like. Also, I think I might be too old.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or a military academy. I don't know, something.
Yeah, they've got to still be a thing.
Yeah. I was thinking about this random thought before we close the episode out. How are military academies ran? Are they who decides that who's running that is good or not? Like it's such a like a boarding school makes sense because it's a school, it's a private institution, school. But is a military academy a school or is it just like long-term boot camp?
I feel like it's probably a long-term boot camp, but also whoever's running it is probably, you would assume, is like some like
military.
Yeah, some like high up like general or whatever who retired and was like, oh, hey, we have this opening, and they're like, you can run this military academy. And he's like, sweet.
I'm gonna fix the youth. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. I don't know. What's crazy is like those things seem like such a big deal, but I've never met a real person that's been to any.
Yeah, same.
I know Owen Wilson's been in one, but that's about it. And I don't know him personally,
So it doesn't count.
Wow. Yeah. Anyway, I was like curious about it because I'm like, how do we decide what they're doing is like, you know, good for people? Like what? I don't know. Did you just sign everything off and like whatever happens, happens, man?
Yeah.
I know in one of the Child's Play movies, a bunch of them get murdered by a doll. Is that covered by insurance? I don't know.
Anything that happens on the grounds probably is covered by insurance.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are all the questions I have.
Nice. All right. We'd like to thank our friends, the Dutch and Denver podcast, the No New Friends podcast, Kicking It with the Kellys in the Remedy Room. As always, follow the link tree for all the links. Comment, like, subscribe. You're welcome.
Yeah. And that's it. I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Oh, no. Tip your bartender.